Yeah, guys. So let's discuss something called constructor overloading today. Okay, constructor overloading. After that, we'll continue with the remaining types of constructors. Last session we discussed default constructor and parameterized constructor. So now we are talking about something called constructor overloading, guys. Overloading. So what is meant by constructor overloading? We are writing two or more constructors. Okay, if we write two or more constructors in a class, then it's called constructor overloading. Okay, the best example for constructor overloading is, so let me take a scenario where we are talking about use case like we have uh, a class called date, guys. My date I'm taking because date is a pretty different class. Date time class is available, that's the reason I'm taking it as my date. So my date uh, m1 is equal to, or d1 is equal to, you can give anything, new my date. And here I'm not giving anything. This is a when you create an object like this, it will call a default construct. If someone is calling, I mean creating object without any parameter, I need to display the default date. So what is default date? For example, 1/1/2026, like that I want to display. That is situation 1, case 1. Case 2, if user creates something like this, my date of d2 is equal to new my date. Within constructor, he is passing parameters, guys, like okay, let's say 27 and 5, 27 and 7 and 5. Okay, so user is passing date and month. So user is not passing year 2026, so we have to display year automatically. So the output should be 27 5 2026, like this I need to display. Or let's say, let's give a hyphen. Separator can be anything, guys, it's your wish whether you want to give hyphen or slash. And the last one is user is passing all the three, we have to display all the three. Whatever user is passing, all those we need to display. For example, 15 8 1947, like that user is passing all the three, date month and year completely, then we need to display the complete date. Okay, 15 8 1947, like this I'm displaying the date as it is. So there are three cases here. The first case is user is not giving any date, so I have to display default date, that is 1/1/2026. Okay, second one is user is passing date and month, we have to display year. And third one is user is passing all the three, we have to display all the three. So this is said to be, here we have to create three constructors. One is, the first one is default constructor, which is giving default date. Second one is constructor with the two parameters or two arguments. And third one is constructor with the three parameters. So how to do that? So let's get started. We are creating a new project, and then we'll see how to do it. So what are we doing here? We are creating a class called myDate. Inside this, we are taking three member variables. What are they? DD, MM, YY. DD stands for date, MM stands for month, and YY for year. Private integer DD, MM, YY. I'm taking three member variables. Now what should I do? I need to create a constructor with the default date. How to create a constructor? Public my date. Okay, like this you can create a constructor. Guys, in Visual Studio, how to create it without writing manually? Is there any shortcut? What is the shortcut to create a constructor?
CTOR.
Very good. CTOR. Press tab key twice, you will be getting it automatically. Okay, you need not write constructor explicitly. So that is the point we need to remember. Okay, shortcuts are very important because when you're working, you should not write manually code. You should take the help of intelligence. So like this, you need to take just press CTOR so that you will be getting like this. And here you need to write dd is equal to 1. You need to initialize like this: dd is equal to 1, equals to 1, and equals to 2026. Like this you need to initialize. This is said to be the way to write a default constructor without any parameters. Okay, so user is not passing anything, then I have to initialize date, month, year with these values. Okay, so let us see whether the results video is ready or not. It is ready. We'll continue. Still it is loading. So let's create one more constructor now. What is the second constructor, guys? With the two parameters. So again I'm taking the same thing, but this time we are not writing anything here. We are taking parameters integer d comma integer m, like this I'm taking, guys. Integer d m. Okay, so what should I write here, guys? So what should I write here? dm is user is passing, right? I need to initialize this dm values into ddmm. So what should I write here? Can I write dd is equal to d? Yes. What is dd? Member variable. What is d here? Local variable. So since the names are different, this is dd and this is d, there is no issue. Same way mm equals to, you can give m is a local variable value, whatever value that is passing I'm storing into mm. Same way y is equal to, user is not giving, right? So you can say 2026 like this, you can initialize it. So instead of writing 2026 manually, you can also make use of predefined class called datetime class, which will read the system's date and it will give you year automatically, so that it is easy for you to write the code, which is dynamic actually. Okay, let's go and create a project. Okay, OOP demo is the last program name, underscore. Do you remember the name of the, yeah, demo OOP underscore or oops demo underscore. Okay, yeah, demo underscore OOP4, like that we will give it. Yeah, demo underscore object oriented programming 4 CONSTROL constructor overloading, like that I'm giving project name. Click on create. So it's getting created. Once it is done, we will start writing my date class with the same properties. So here what do we remember? We have d and m local variables, and d value I'm initializing into dd, m value into mm, and y value I'm initializing as 2026. Okay, now we are adding one more constructor, guys. This time if I write dd here, I need to take three parameters, right? dd, mm, y. Can you guess, guys, if I write like this, what happens? What should I write here? Local variable names are dd, mm, y, and my member variable is also dd, mm, y. So what should I write here? Come on, guys, respond in the chat box. Yeah, we have to use this for member variable. So you should write this dot dd is equal to dd, like that we need to write it. Okay, so I said you the professional way to write the code is you need to go to Solution Explorer, right click on this, add a new class. This is the way you need to do it. Okay, add class like that, but here I'm writing it. So what I'm doing, I'm writing a comment. Always start with the comment line: constructor overloading demo. This is the best example for constructor overloading, guys. So what is my class name? My date. So we need three member variables, right? Private integer dd, dd for date, mm for month, y for year. and we need a constructor CTOR. That's it. So constructor is ready. Okay. So what do we write here? Default constructor, right? So the first one is default constructor. One second, guys. We have, yeah, yeah. So what do we write here? DD equals to 1, equals to 1, YY equals to 20, 26. This should be default constructor. Default constructor or parameterless constructor or instance constructor. Okay. So coming to the second one. So we are writing constructor with the two parameters CTOR. We should have two parameters, guys. So what should I write here? Integer. I'm writing DD Okay, what should I write here? This dot DD is equal to means member variable value. I'm storing DD value. This dot equals to So here DD and are local variables. This dot DD, this dot are member variables. So we are taking values into local variables and we are initializing them into member variables. So this is what the important point you need to remember. Okay. So what about here? Here is not given by user, right? So we have to give this dot yy equals to, you can type 2026 directly, or you can also replace with the date time dot now dot year, like that you can write it, guys. Okay, that is also fine. I will show you later. Okay, now what are we writing? One more constructor. This time we are taking three parameters. Okay, three parameters: integer dd, integer integer yy, integer yy. Okay, next what to do here? This dot dd is equal to dd, this dot equals to and this dot yy equals to yy, because user will give all the three values, so we are initializing all of them. And I need to display this date and month and year date completely, right? So we are writing a method called show date, public void show date or display date. You can write like anything. I'm saying it as show date method, our own method, guys. You can give anything. So as per the naming convention, every word first letter should be capital letters, right? So that I'm giving show date S and D capital letter. So console.writeLine, I'm giving date is date. So what should I display? TD plus, beside that I want slash or hyphen, it's your wish, guys. And after that I want month, after that I want a slash, after that I want year, so that it looks good when you are displaying result. So date slash month slash year, like that I want to display. This should be my show date method. Okay, yeah. So we are done with the three constructor. This is constructor with the two parameters, two parameters, and here constructor with the three parameters, three parameters. So how many constructors we have? Three constructors. So if user is not passing anything, directly creating empty object without any parameters, I will call this default constructor, which will give you 1/1/2026. Second one, if user passes date and month, I will supply year automatically. If user is passing all the three, I will take all of them and I will be displaying as it is. Let's check it out, guys. We are creating three objects now. My date m1 is equal to, or md is equal to, you can give anything, guys. New my date. So what are we giving? We are not passing anything. So m1 dot show date. So that is the way I'm displaying. So it will call the default constructor. Okay, calling default constructor. So let me give console.read key here so that it will wait. Let's run it and test it, guys. So we are executing and we will see 1/1/2026, which is calling our default constructor. So we'll create one more object this time, which is having two parameters. So it should give us 2026 automatically. Okay. So that is the second object purpose. Third object is with the three parameters, so that it will call the third constructor. Okay, like that we can call all constructors, depends upon the scenario. So that is what we need to remember when you are working with constructor overload. Okay, so I think it's running. Yeah. So you will get 1/1/2026 as the default date. You can modify according to our requirement. See this, guys. Or you can use datetime dot now dot toString, like that also you can use it. Console dot write line datetime dot now dot toString. It will give you completely date and month, as I told you, right? See, guys, date 1/1/2026 is coming. It's perfectly fine. Now what are we doing? We are writing second constructor already there. We are calling this one. So how to call it? So my date m2 is equal to second constructor. New my date. Here I'm passing. Oh, sorry. New my date. Here I'm passing a 27 and 5. So it should give me 2026 automatically. So how to call m2 dot show date. This one will give you second. It will call second constructor, and you will be getting 27 5 2026. Like that, you will be getting today's date. But 2026 is constant, static values are you gave it directly 2026, because next year if you are running, you will get 2026 only. No sir, next year when I run it in 2027, it should come out 2027 automatically. How to do that? For that, what you can do is, instead of writing here 2026, you delete it and here write date time dot now dot year. Current year. Date time is a predefined class. Now means present year. What is the current year? It will display automatically. 2026 will come. Now let's run it and test it. I'm using the same thing. I am running it. You will get 27/5/2026. But this one is dynamic. Even if you run it in next year, you will get 2027 automatically. That is the power of date time class. See, guys, we have default constructor where I did not pass anything. I got 1/1/2026. Second time I passed 27 and 5. I got 2026 automatically. And the third one is, like, I need to pass all the three. So what I'm saying here, my date m3 is equal to new my date. Here I'm passing all the three. So like 15 8 1947. So m3 dot show date. So now this one will call the third constructor with three parameters. Okay, let us run it and test it, guys. So all the three constructors are done well. See, guys, see, 1/1/2026 is coming from default constructor. This is coming from constructor with two parameters where I'm passing only date and month. Here is coming from the constructor itself. And third one, I passed all the three. I got all the three. Okay. So this said to be the way to work with the constructor overloading. Okay. So there is a small concept, guys, which is related to this. Let me copy paste this code actually. Guys, can you guess what happens if I remove this keyword here? See, guys, I'm removing this. Actually, I'm not getting error. Rather, I'm getting warning actually. Warning. Forget about warning. But I can run the program. Though we have warnings, I can run the program, right? So what do you expect when you run this? Come on, guys. Previously, I got 15/8/1947 here. So now I removed this keyword. I have three parameters. So what is the output you are expecting? Please write your answers in the chat box. What is the output? So I'm passing 15 9 8 1947. Can I get that date or any other? What's your guess?
Sir, once again repeat, sir. Your voice was unclear.
Okay. So here I'm passing, I removed this keyword called
Voice was
hello. Is it okay now?
yes, sir.
Okay. One second. Yeah. So here I'm giving I removed this keyword actually. This dot dd is equal to dd was there. I removed these keywords for all these three members, and I'm passing here 15 8 1947. So what are you expecting now? Can I get 15 8 1947 or any other output you are expecting? Maheshwari, what is your guess? Actually, I'm getting warning here. Yeah, the output will be displayed. What is the output you are expecting? What is meant by dd? Because I removed this keyword, right? dd is equal to
Local variable DD.
local variable. Very good. Local variable means, can I write dd equal to dd? Local variable
No, sir.
value will be assigned to local only. So we are not assigning the value to member variable. So you will get default values. What are the default values, guys? For integers, 0 is the default value. Integer, double,
Zero,
float.
null, zero.
Yeah, zero,
Zero.
zero, 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 zero will come. 0 slash 0 slash 0. See, guys, that is why when you have same name for local variables and member variables together, you have to use this keyword. This is what the important point we need to remember. So clear, everybody? That's the reason I'm using this here. Okay, when you have same name for local and member variables, to refer the member variables or class variables, we have to use this keyword. Okay, so along with this, there is a small concept called destructor, guys. There is something called destructor. Destructor. What is destructor? It is uh, also having same name as class name, which is preceded by tilde sign. So what is the meant by destructor? It is destroying, guys. It is going to destroy memory for the objects, memory for the objects which are out of scope. So any object is being utilized already, so we don't want to keep it in memory. So then we need to use what? Destructor will destroy the object from memory. Constructor is constructing object with values, some default values or whatever values you are giving, but destructor is destroying the objects which are out of scope. After utilizing my object, still it is wasting my memory. I don't want to keep it in my memory. I want to delete it. Then we write destructor. How do you write it? Example. So you have to write like this. Suppose if my class name is sample, then you need to write constructor. How do we write it? Public sample. Like that we'll write constructor, right? This is the way we write it. This is called constructor. What is the purpose of constructor? We have been doing it already. We know it. Just to initialize members. I don't have any members as of now. If you have any members, you can write it. So what about destructor? How do we write it? Destructor is just like tilde symbol sample, like this we need to write it. This is called destructor, which is destroying memory for the object which is out of scope. Of course, you may write anything or just write a console.write line, some message. Okay. So destructor is always preceded with a tilde sign. Constructor will have just class name preceded by access modifier. We should not write access modifier for destructor. So this is called destructor. This is called constructor. So it's a formal way that everybody, when you create a class, we always write minimum, a constructor, at least default constructor and a destructor. Okay, that is the way it will be called automatically, guys. How constructor is getting called automatically, same way destructor will also be called automatically. So what are the differences between constructors and destructor? Like that we will have a question, guys. Okay, differences between differences between constructor and destructor. It's an interview question, guys. Okay, let's have a table. So what is constructor? What is destructor? It is used to initialize the member variables of the class or instance variables. Constructor is used to initialize instance variables or initialize the object. In simple terms, initialize the object. So it is used to destroy the objects which are out of scope. Destroy the object which is out of scope. Simple, we can say initialize the object. To initialize the object, we use it. That is used to destroy the object. So constructor overloading is possible. Means we can write two or more constructors. Constructor overloading is possible. But destructor overloading is not possible. We cannot write more than one destructor. For class, only one destructor is allowed, guys. Overloading is not possible. So we can have access modifier, means public modifier. Okay, we cannot write any access modifiers for public or private. Nothing. We cannot write it. And explicit calling is possible. Means you can explicit calling is possible for. I mean, you can pass parameters so that you can call it. But here it is not possible. Only implicit calling. Okay, explicit calling is not possible. Not possible. So that these are the differences, guys. Okay, so only one constructor is allowed here. Sorry, only one destructor is allowed per class. One destructor is allowed per class. So is there any problem if I forgot to write a destructor? No problem. It will automatically C sharp can utilize what you call. So here default constructor will be given, right. If you forgot to write default constructor, it will create automatically C sharp. So here we can make use of garbage collection, guys. There is a process called garbage collection. With that you can do this destructor. Okay. So let us add destructor to our program, whatever is done just now, so that you will understand. So how to write what is my class name here? My date, right? So my destructor, how to write? Generally we write at the end, guys. My date. This is the way you need to write it. So what are we writing inside this? Just I'm writing a message. Destructor invoked. So how many times it will be called? How many objects are there? Okay, how many objects you are creating? That many times destructor is getting called. Okay, so here how many objects we have? Three objects, M1, M2, M3. So you will be getting this message for three times now. Let us check it out. I'm executing it. So for first, see guys, 1 1 20 26 27 5, but where are destructors? These are displayed actually, but we are unable to see. Okay, so you just, if you want to see those messages, you can say control Fn F5, guys. If you run like that, you can see those messages. Okay, will execute and it will wait. See guys, now you can see. So first object constructor and then destructor. Second object constructor, destructor. Third object constructor and destructor. So for every object you will have default constructor, at least one constructor followed by one destructor. But destructor is optional, guys. You may write it or you may not write it. It can be handled implicitly by garbage collection. Garbage collection manually also can write it, and you cannot call destructor explicitly. It will be called automatically. Implicitly it will be called. So constructor will be called automatically. Destructor will also be called automatically. Okay. You can explicit calling is possible for constructor, which is not possible for. Okay, this is not difference actually. Okay, let us leave it as it is because both are same, right? There is no difference. Both will be called automatically. So constructor means only default constructor will be called automatically, guys. Destructor also will be called automatically. Okay, it will be called automatically or implicitly. This will also be called implicitly. If it is default constructor, it will be called implicitly. These are similarities actually. It will be called. I mean, what will be called? Default constructor will be called. Constructor will be called implicit. But other constructors like parameterized will not be called implicitly. You have to pass parameters. So that is about constructors and destructors. So far so good. And last example, we will have a look at something called copy constructor, and we'll make it. Okay. So what is copy constructor? Copy constructor is used to copy. It is used to copy the data, I mean object properties. Copy the data means properties means the variables whatever you have, from an existing object into a new object, guys. So very simple to understand. Suppose you joined in a company in October of last year. Okay, October 2025 you joined. January 1st, every January cycle they are increasing, they are hiking salaries of employees. What they will do for October, November, December, 3 months only you joined, right? Every 1 year they will hike, but you joined last 3 months ago, so they will not increase the salary for the people who joined in October or before, last 2 3 months, whoever is joined. For those people, they will not hike. They will copy the same salary for the next January itself. So in that case, we can use an existing object to copy into a new object. This is called as copy constructor. Okay, let us see how to do it. It's very simple, guys. So let me copy paste this code in our notes. One second. Where is our code? Yeah, yeah, guys, it's done. So now we are moving to copy constructor. How to use copy constructor? So we should have an existing object. So it should have some values. Those we need to copy into new object. Okay. So let us take employee class. Suppose we have a class called employee, and I have ID, name, and salary, three things. So employee E1 is equal to new employee. Whenever I call this, I have passed 1001, a name like Surya I'm giving, and salary I'm giving as 60,000. I give it. Okay, so now again I need to copy this to second constructor, guys. Second object. How to create second object? E2 is equal to new employee. Again, I need not pass the same thing. Same details again. So rather I will pass E1 just like this. I will pass. So whenever I pass E1 as an object, I mean as a parameter to another constructor, here it will call the copy constructor. Copy constructor called here. So it will copy even object, even contents like 1001 Surya 60,000 to E2 also. So whenever I say E1 dot display, if you have a method called display to display ID, name, and salary. Same way, if you say e2.display, both will give you same details, same salary, same name, same everything same. That is said to be the power of uh, copy construct. How to do it? Let us create a class called employee and we'll continue with this example. Okay, so you need to take three properties like id, name and salary, and then we'll do it. So select demo underscore OOP5 OOP5 underscore copy constructor, like that I gave it. So I forgot to select our folder by mistake. Okay, so let it be, guys. Okay, so what are we doing here? Copy constructor demo. It's very easy, guys. So let us take a class called employee. Inside this I have three member variables: private integer empid, employee id, or you can say only id; private string, name of the employee; private double, salary. We have three member variables, guys. Now how to create a constructor? ctor press tab key, which is having id is equal to, you can give default values also, 0 null 0, like that you can give it. Name equals to null, which is the default constructor. Salary equal to 0, like this I gave it. Okay, which is a default constructor. If you don't give values, I need to give this. Let us write a parameterized constructor, guys. What is parameterized constructor? Constructor with arguments. You need to pass these three: id, name and salary. Okay, we'll make it as id, also small letters, id. Yeah, so here what I'm saying, with three parameters. So integer id, string name, double, salary, same names. Okay, same names. So how to initialize this? This dot id is equal to id, this dot name equals to name, and this dot salary equals to salary. Okay, that's it, guys. This is the parameterized constructor. Okay, this is a default constructor, this is parameterized constructor. Now we are writing copy constructor. This is parameterized constructor. Now we are writing copy constructor. How to write a copy constructor? Very simple, guys. Same class name, that is rule common. And here, instead of passing three variables like this, we will pass the object type employee emp, like this we need to write it, guys. Okay, that is the way to write it. So what is the emp? Existing object, whatever user is passing. Existing object. New object. Current object is what? This dot id is equal to emp dot id. Emp dot id means existing object id I'm passing to current object. That is the meaning, guys. Existing name, I'm copying from uh, you know I mean, to the current. This is new object, right? New object value we are copying from emp dot name. Emp dot name is existing. This is new one. This dot id is a new one. Same way, this dot salary is equal to emp dot salary. So emp dot whatever I'm writing, those are existing object values. This said to be current object value. So you are copying old object data into new object data with the help of copy constructor. Finally, we are writing public void display. Display method is used to display the details of an employee, like id plus id, and then name, and then salary plus name. Of course, you can write this dot name also, no problem, guys. Salary, salary, done. So now let's come down. So this is what copy constructor. We are taking parameter. This time, instead of taking individual variables like this, just we are writing class name space object name. Object is nothing but like a ball which contains three properties. Okay, we are copying this existing object data into new object data. So that is said to be copy constructor. Let's come down and do it now. Creating employee emp1 or e1 is equal to new employee, and here I'm passing one Surya I'm giving, and 60,000 I'm giving as values salary. Okay, now e1 dot display, it will display the object properties. So you will get one Surya 60,000, like that you'll be getting it. Excuse me. See this 1001, let's say 1001. Same way you can copy that details into second object, guys. Okay, we got one ID1 name Surya, salary 60,000. Okay, of course you can give it as 1001 also, no problem. ID. Now I want to copy this ID, I mean the complete object data into new object. How to do that? This time we are copy constructor. E2 is equal to new employee, and you need not write again 1001 Surya 60,000 like that. Just you pass E1 as a parameter. That's it. What is the meaning? You are passing E1 object into E2. So your then copy constructor will be called here. Copy constructor called here. This is the important point you need to remember. E2 dot display. Now you will get same salary for both the objects. Just for the sake of understanding, slash and I'm giving new line so that you will get a gap between one object output and second object output. Now you will be getting exactly same values for two objects. So this is coming from our parameterized constructor, and this is coming from our copy constructor. So if you want to get clarity from which constructor they are coming, just you give a message here. So what is this? Console.writeline parameterized constructor. Same way copy constructor, like that I want to call it. I want to display it actually. It's not compulsory, guys. Only for our understanding, I'm writing it. This is copy constructor invoked. Okay, let's run it and test it. Now you'll get the same, but you'll get messages for first one is copy construct. Parameterized constructor, and second one is copy constructor. See, guys, you can understand easily. This is called via parameterized constructor, and this is called through copy constructor. So is it clear, everybody? Hope you understand copy constructor, right? Yeah, very good. So let me copy paste it, and that's all for today, guys. Tomorrow we'll continue the other types of constructors. Okay.